Hey everyone. So last week I had my kombucha kit come in, and I said that possibly I would actually live stream making the first batch. So this is the first brew of it, so like the initial brewing process then. So I did a couple of steps already just because, I didn't want this to take forever. So step 1, according to the directions, is bring 4 cups of filtered water to a boil and then turn off the heat. I already did that. And then you're supposed to pour the entire contents of the tea blend pouch, which is about 3 tablespoons of like regular tea leaves, and then you add it to the pot, and you're supposed to hold on to this pouch. I guess you're going to need it later for some brew notes, so that's kind of cool. Let the tea steep for 5 to 7 minutes, then remove the tea bag and discard the tea leaves. So I'm going to do that because that's where I'm at. I'm just going to poke it a couple times here. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay, it's starting to cool off a little bit. It's still pretty hot though. Okay, so, okay, oh wait, I'm still wringing it out, hang on. There we go. Okay, so here's my wet tea bag. I'm holding this over the sink here. I've got a saucer here. I'm just going to put the tea leaves on. And the bag is actually kind of hard to open. It's made of like a muslin cloth. Reusable, so that's kind of cool. And they say just to rinse it out and let it dry, so that's kind of cool. Wow, this thing is hard to open back on. I guess that's good though. We don't want leaking tea leaves all over the place because then you have to filter again. So I guess it saves a step. It's like a drawstring bag. Okay, these are coming out. After they're rehydrated, there's actually quite a bit in here. Sorry, there's angry cats. Fighting over open windows, so if you hear growls, that's what's going on. Or cats jumping from windowsills that are on the other side of this camera. Okay, so this part's a little bit of a pain, I'm not gonna lie. But I do like the fact that it's reusable, so that's kind of cool. Okay, I got most of it out. Gonna wring it out, put it in the drainer, put it aside. Okay, cool. Alright, so rinse and let air dry. Cool. Okay. Step 4. Add the entire contents of the organic sugar pouch, which is right here. So this is 1 cup of organic sugar. What it is organic evaporated cane juice sugar. They say that regular white sugar is actually the best to reuse. I actually got that information out of here. I know I said in previous episode that it was that I was going to use sugar in the raw. They actually say not to use that, at least for this SCOBY. They say that that the SCOBY, which is the shush lily, they say that the SCOBYs that come in these packages have evolved enough to be able to feed better on like processed white sugar. So okay, it's cheaper. I mean, it gets eaten up and goes away for the most part anyway, so like it's not like I'm really consuming it. So yeah, so that's Lily. Like, she seriously shush. She growls in a way that she snores afterwards. That's what you heard. Okay. So, we're going to add this to the tea, which is on the pot on the stove. All this is going to end up coming over here, so you'll be able to see in just a moment what's going on. Okay, in it goes. And then we stir. Alright, let's see what's next. Once the sugar has dissolved, pour your newly made sweet tea mixture into the 1-gallon brew jar. So this is the brew jar. A couple things I put back into it. Take that out. Okay. And I'm just going to rinse this out one more time. It's supposed to be clean. It definitely seems clean. But you are actually not supposed to use like dish soap for it, because any of the antibacterial stuff that's in the soaps that we use, it's actually really bad for the SCOBY and can kill it. They say to rewash anything, whether it's your bottling jars or this, to just use a little bit of vinegar and water, and that's it. So super easy cleaning then, so that'll be good. When I go to clean out my jars that I've been saving, that's actually what I'm going to do. Okay, so, alright, so let me just check and see if that's dissolved. Mostly, it's check to see if the sugar is dissolved. You check to see if it's making a scraping sound or if you can feel like the grains on the bottom. So if you've never made like a syrup or anything like that before, that's what you look for. I would say we're pretty much there. Actually, I can still see some. Tea is clear enough, you can usually see if it's dissolved all the way through or not. You can see the grains on the bottom. Yep, we're good. Okay. Alright, so here's what we got. You can kind of see it there. Okay, so, put the sweet tea mixture into the 1 gallon brew jar. Alright, let's hope I don't spill anything. Okay. Glad I waited until today to do this. I've got a lot of my upper body strength back after being down with the COVID. Alright, here we go. Okay, I'm done with this. Did I spill any of it? Yep, just a little bit. Teensy bit. No biggie. Okay. Alright. Okay, that was step 5. Step 6. Fill the brew jar with 8 cups of cold filtered water. Okay, so I have various cold filtered water receptacles in the fridge. Let me go get them. Okay, pre-filtered. This is 4. Okay, where is it? 8. Okay, 8 cups. So this will be 4. I had the 4 cups of hot water that I used for the tea. I already had that on the stove. So a nice big 8 cup thing right here. Okay, now I'm going to measure out 4 more, right? Yeah. There you go. Okay. And 8. Cool. Okay, that was step 6. So jar should be 3/4 of the way full. It looks that way to me. Okay, cool. Adhere the temperature gauge to the side of the jar and ensure that the temperature reads between 68 and 86. That would be this thing right here. So it's kind of like one of those thermometers that you put up to your forehead. That's what we have here. And indeed, the jar has definitely cooled down. Okay. So far it's reading at 72. I just want to double check. $74. I think we're good. We're definitely good. Okay. Alright. And they say that if it's still too warm, like over 86, to add a 1/2 cup more of cold water. It's not looking like I have to do that. Okay, add the entire contents of the kombucha culture, right here, and liquid starter pouch into the jar. So, this is it. The liquid starter is basically the liquid that the SCOBY, the kombucha culture, is actually sitting in. So, I'm just going to open this up and put it in. It's going to look weird, okay? So, like, warning you, you're going to see a thing that'll just go bloop right in, okay? That's the SCOBY. It's supposed to look like that. Okay, try to figure out what the best way is to do this. I don't want to waste anything. So for those of you who might not have seen my my unboxing video, a SCOBY is basically, or actually this whole thing is kind of like sourdough starter. So when before I bottle up all of this, I actually have to set aside. Oh, interesting. Okay. I actually have to set aside 2 cups and the SCOBY of this original kombucha for my next one, just like a sourdough starter. There is a plastic thing inside of a plastic thing, and I actually opened up both of them. Oh, there's the SCOBY. Oh, that looks interesting. Yeah, it looks like a, I don't know, a gelatinous cake. It smells good too. Okay, so, okay, see. Okay, so this is just plastic. This is the good stuff right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna move my hand so that you can see what's going on. See how it's like gelatinous looking? Okay. That's the SCOBY. Here it comes. Ready? Bloop. And you're probably like, ew, we drink that? Actually, yeah, that's the thing that provides the probiotics. And all of the healthful reasons why everybody should be drinking kombucha. Yeah, I know it looks kind of gross, but it gets taken out and reused. It's what causes the fermenting process. So basically, just like yeast is an organism that makes like all of our favorite alcoholic beverages, this type of good bacteria, ingestible bacteria, is what's used to make kombucha. And it's very similar to the type of bacteria that's in yogurt and kefir and some of those other ones. Okay, I think that's probably going to be about it. I'm like trying to get like every single bit, but you know what? It's only going to grow and get bigger anyways. I should probably just discard it. And we're good. Okay. So, that was step 8. Gently stir. Okay. It's so weird looking, right? Okay, step 9. That back in the thing. That's so weird. There we go. Okay. Okay, step 9. Follow the directions on the back of the pH test strips color chart to conduct a pH test. It should read 4.5 or below. Okay. So this is the color thing for it. These are the test strips. So, where are the directions? Oh, here we go. Dip paper into solution, remove at once. Immediately, compare to the color chart. Okay, there are a whole bunch of these. That's awesome. I imagine getting more of these is no big deal at all. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. It is yellow, 4.5 or below. I'm getting like a 3.5, I think. Right? We wanted 4.5 or less. So either like a greenish yellowish or less into like the yellow-orange category. Okay? You can see sort of where we're at there. So this is going to be like 3.5 is really where I'm at, maybe 4. So that's actually really good. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, that was no big deal at all. I was like, wait, pH test kit? I don't know what I'm doing with that. I didn't look at it. But that was really easy. Alright, cover the jar. with the cotton cloth and seal with the rubber band. Set the plastic jar lid aside. It is not needed for the brewing process. I'm pretty sure this is just to keep your clean jar clean. Okay, so this is the plastic cotton lid. Got my rubber band. I think pretty much any rubber band is going to work. So, yeah, this does not actually get clamped shut. It needs airflow. It like needs to consume some oxygen, some air to the thing. Needs some ventilation. But you want to make sure that it's not going to like attract bugs or get anything in it. So that's why you do have to cover it, not leave it totally open. Okay. All right. Okay, so step 11. Using the wet erase marker, fill out your brew notes feature on the side of your brew jar. That is right here. Brew notes. It says brew ID, brew date, tea used. Oh, hi, there's a cat. So, okay. Date it and see your tea pouch label for the amount and type of tea used. That's why we have to keep this. Okay. So ID your brew by a name and number. Now, I bought 2 kits, so if I ever decide to do like 2 batches at once, then it's important for me to definitely go through this and ID everything. So I'm just, for my first one, I'm just going to get a good habit started. So we're going to call this number 1, okay, since this is my very first one doing it. And we're going to call this Basic from Kit, because I didn't add anything besides what they told me to add. I did do some research as to when you add fruit juice. That's for the second brewing process, and like regular fruit can go in there too. So there's going to end up being a part 2 to this, where I actually like take everything out of here and put it into jars, or not jars, I'm going to be using glass bottles. So at that point, I'm probably going to use some fruit juice, maybe some fruit, I don't know. I have about 8 or so days to figure this out, so at that point you'll get to see the different flavors that I'm going to be making. I'm probably going to use like some spices too. I'm just going to get fancy right away for a few of the bottles, and keep track of that and let you guys know how that all goes. Okay, so Basic from Kit, that's going to be my brew ID. Okay, brew date, where's my Fitbit? Oh, it's on the ankle, okay. Today is the 9th, so 5... 9 already? Wow. Tea used. So this is organic, Ceylon, and oolong. Ceylon and oolong. And this was 3 tablespoons. That's what it said. Oh, okay. My handwriting is awful. And for those of you who know me, it's awfuler than normal. Okay, that was step 11. Step 12. Place your brew jar in a warm place out of direct sunlight with plenty of airflow. So no closed cupboards. Leave it there for 8 to 10 days and do not move it. So what I have set up is on the other side of that refrigerator that you see over there, the box that it came in, I actually am putting it next to there. So husband of mine likes to keep the house colder than what they recommend. They recommend it being like 72 degrees, which I like that. That's nice for me. The warmer you have it, just like fermenting anything, and like we've made wine, and Scott's going to be making mead soon, and maybe even cider, we'll see. Like, whenever you're brewing anything, your house should be like over 70 degrees, or else it's going to take a lot slower. I want to kind of do this by the books here, so that I know, so that I get a good result, because obviously I'm live streaming this, I want it to go well. So I figured if I put it next to the, refrigerator, like, the airflow that comes from the refrigerator, like, should actually help keep it warmer. It's going to be in a box, so, well, of course, it's not going to be a closed box, but, like, a box that's around here, like, around the sides, so that it keeps it darker. But, like, the top will be open so that it can circulate air. And that's a highly trafficked area, so, like, between the dining room and the kitchen. So, here, I'll just swing this around so you can see what I'm talking about. It's going to be, like, right there. Okay? So, I figured that's going to be a good idea. So, carefully, you're supposed to put that over there. So I'm going to do that, because otherwise other things are too bright, too, I don't know, too cold. So this should work. I'll be right back. That should work. Alright, so that was step 12, 8 to 10 days. You're supposed to leave it there and not move it. So I'm going to actually set an alarm on my phone for about this time of the day, 8 days from now. Hopefully it's warm enough, it'll be ready. There's supposed to be signs for when you're ready. And then we will have the next step of this video. So I did not do steps 13 and 14 yet. By day 8 to 10, you will see that there's a new layer on top. And you don't disturb it, and you, yeah, okay, so that's going to be the next step. I think I'm not going to give too much of that away. Taste every few days from day 8. So yeah, I actually get to taste test it. There's like a pipette that came with it, so I get to like sample it, kind of like the Mad Chemist, you know. And there's kind of screening questions that you're supposed to ask yourself about what you're looking for the correct taste for when you're ready to do the next part. And then we kind of go into this part. Okay, so that's going to be the next video. So if this is exciting you as much as it's exciting me, stay tuned for about 8 days from now. So that'll be, what's today? Today's Monday. So this is going to be next week, Tuesday. Tuesdays are trickier for me. I'm going to have to do this a little earlier in the day. Yeah, and then we'll get into that next part. And if it's not ready by, you know, if I try and it's not ready, like if it's too tired or something like that, I may wait an extra day. Wednesdays are a little easier and I have more time, so. Alright, sounds good. I will talk to you all later. If you have any questions about anything you just saw or about anything kombucha in general, let me know in the comments and I will see if I can answer it. And if not, I found this fantastic article about everything brewing kombucha without a kit. So, like, it's a great resource. So I'll see what I can do to help you out, okay? If not, I will see you in other posts, or I'll see you in about 8 days or a little longer for the next chapter of this. Alright, have a great day. Thanks.